also told her that oral sex on a woman is forbidden more than once a month.
Oh my God.
That's when it goes from fun to evil. He's full of shit, and those aren't real Jewish things. Also, he isn't religious at all and is using this to get out of stuff he doesn't want to.
That's psychotic of this
know.
guy. That is giving the energy of all the rabbis, though. Of all the rabbis being like, I'm going to write this rule that says that you have to listen to the rabbis.
Yes, that is so right.
That's it.
This is so Talmud. He's
actually embodying Jewish sages.
These are traditional Jewish values.
Yes. Use the Torah for whatever purposes
For
you
your
want.
personal gain.
Yes, for your personal
if
gain.
you are a man and it makes your wife feel bad. Oh, that's going to get a lot of comments. I've stopped reading them because
they're insane.
at this point they're nothing but like horror.
I
Hate.
know, but like, thank you for boosting our algorithm.
I know, thank
our
you.
video.
This decaf coffee video went crazy, and
We should do the best of
one
comments
that literally just came in. These are 2 comments by the same person. The first is, fortunately, at least 2 of these women won't have kids. The third should abort as necessary.
Yes.
Yes. So first of all, incredible. But then
the next one,
exact same person comments, the mask wants to get with the host so badly.
and I was like, which one's the
Which
mask?
one's the mask?
I think it's Melissa. Shout out Melissa. I think it
Yeah.
must be. In his head, it must be Melissa.
Because are you even in the clip?
I'm like in it like for one frame. I go, Which
honestly,
I crushed that.
that's pretty
sound.
hot.
Yeah.
This is
Fortunately, at least 2 of these women won't have
and
kids.
it looks like a guy, and like his queer lingo is on point. The mask.
That's true. How does he know what that is even? People are so interesting. I love the comments on that clip. I'm like thinking now, like I should post more controversial Jewish stuff because Jews will argue in the comments.
to argue. They love to argue.
Yeah, but it's crazy because all my other Jewish clips like really haven't. The clip, like when I first started posting and my mom would tell me things like, you can't post things on the internet. Like I thought I would get a lot of those Jews being like, how dare you say this?
Yeah.
And I got none of that. Like most of the comments that boosted my clips were like anti-women or anti-queer.
Incredible.
No anti-
Jew.
It's not anti-Jew.
not
It's
anti-Jew.
Jews that are
Jews
anti-Jews,
being-
not being religious.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anti-secular Jews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we have really hit on as a core niche, and we
Thank you.
love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep commenting.
And thank you and to Antonia, because that clip, that metaphor is so beautiful, and that's such a like something that I never would have even none of the rest of the Orthodykes who are like in such this like orthodox mindset would ever have thought to make that analogy. And like I think the fact that we all come from diverse Jewish perspectives, and by diverse I mean 2 options, really makes for a beautiful conversation and podcast. And maybe we should throw in someone else who's a little bit more diverse than us.
Well, I can't imagine how you can get more
Ashki
diverse.
white Jews.
What else is there to add?
Yeah, nothing else.
You know, it's an honor to be here with you.
Yes. Anyway, welcome to Yenta.
Welcome to Yenta,
The podcast that's sometimes about comedy, sometimes about Judaism, and always about
Gossip.
gossip. Today on the podcast we have
us.
Huge get.
Huge. You don't even know
how hard it was.
How hard it was
to arrange our schedules.
Our managers were screaming at each other.
They were about to fire each other. And us.
And also it's been like a full 3 weeks since we've even seen each other.
Yes. It's been so terrible.
So
the fires were fine. No big deal. No, the fires were tough, obviously, and we both got out, and now we're back.
And we're both okay.
And we both can't breathe.
Yeah, and we're both like, it's so odd that I'm having breathing problems now. I wonder what that's about.
I know.
And just so you know, while you're here, if you go to our Patreon, we just I think next week we're going to post a very juicy Patreon episode about the biggest TikTok drama that we've ever been involved in.
Tangentially involved.
But also we're kind of the main characters.
For the sake of the Patreon, we are the main characters.
So if you know what we're talking about, you already know. But
It's TikTok
You're gonna love
lesbian
this.
drama.
and we are the center.
Yeah.
The center. So
Patreon.com/Yenta.
Patreon.com/Yenta. Thank you, Ray. So I wanted to do a new format this episode because people
I do have some Yenta also.
Really?
But should we do some advice for?
yeah
should I
do
my
Yenta at the end.
Okay. Nice.
Excuse. So people love to hear our brilliant opinions. Yes, Moisha's on the couch. This is a good
I
sign.
should let him come to me, right? I shouldn't pick him up.
Nah, you can pick him up.
Because I feel like he doesn't like to be picked up. Okay.
He's in a little playful mood, so just help him relax by being calm. Smush his little butt down. Listener, you're loving this. Okay, so our new format for this episode is going to be some Q&As because we've
Advice.
some advice.
Yes.
We asked our listeners if they wanted any advice from two dummies like us, and the questions came pouring in.
So many questions. I don't know how we're going to get to all of them.
We had to, I'm curating.
Yes, of course.
I'm curating. And we're really excited about this because obviously we have great opinions and we love sharing them.
Yeah, and we're geniuses.
And we're geniuses. Okay, this is the first question. Actually, this one came in.
And this is why I brought out my blazer, because I'm wise, Ray.
And you look so wise right now.
Thank you.
It intimidated me so much I had to put on my wise bandana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And my plant daddy hat that Antonio got me for my birthday.
You're not wearing the Plant Daddy hat.
And I am going insane. And where am I right now? And Antonio, why did you kidnap me and put me on this podcast?
It was my complicated plot. Moisha drugged you.
I think I thought about wearing the hat.
I
and then
really appreciate that
changed
you
my
thought
mind.
about it. You wore it
On
in
the last one.
episode with Eli, and you looked amazing.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
hat has a plant on it, and it's the same color as the Plant Daddy hat. So this is kind of your brand.
And I haven't been sleeping because I've been coughing so much. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Baby.
I know it's really bad. I just keep coughing all night.
You should go to a doctor.
What do you think they're going to do?
At a doctor, well, they could give you a lot of things to like help make the cough looser, maybe get it up, or give you like an inhaler that can relax your airways. Like maybe you're just coughing because your airway is like inflamed. That's
Like, do you think if I
asthma.
go to urgent care, that'll do it? They'll do that. Or I
They
have to go to
might.
a doctor.
Go to urgent care and ask them for like you think you're developing asthma, and ask them if they have some treatment, and they might give you an inhaler, or they might say go to your doctor.
Yeah.
And this has been your
Advice.
reminder, Yentas, to go to a doctor. And also a good reminder that I have great advice to give.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is the first question, and I feel like this is like exactly in your niche. So I'm curious to see what you have to say about this. So this listener says, I'm gay and would consider myself conservative on the religious scale. I wanted to ask if you guys had any advice on navigating more religious family members with coming out. If there are people who share these identities out there too. So this is the second question. Are there people who share these identities out there too? And where do I find them? Would love any advice you have for a struggling Gen Z.
Oh, I am Gen Z.
Are you?
You said you would really know about this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because I'm Gen
Give your
Z.
Gen Z wisdom.
Well, you talk a little bit because I'm eating a peanut butter cup.
Oh, that's also so important and really good for airways, they say. The thing is that I'm the wrong person to answer this question because my coming out process in my life has been so easy, except for that one thing we talked about earlier, which I haven't told my parents yet.
Yeah. Or anyone on the podcast.
Yeah, even though everyone on the podcast knows.
That's so true.
And so I don't have a lot of good experience like navigating more religious family members. I think this is more your wheelhouse.
Okay.
But I do have a question like for this person. I'm curious what their relationship is like with these family members, because that's really going to change how the interaction goes. Like, are you already on like hanging by a thread with your mom, or are you and your mom like so close?
Did they say their mom
can
or
tell
just
them anything?
parent?
I'm just saying mom.
You're just assuming it's the mom.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't have any trauma about my mom.
Well, they're also said they're conservative, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my thoughts are they're not going to disown you.
Well, I think they're conservative, but it's possible that their family is not conservative, is more religious. That's what this sounds like to me.
Well, my advice would be, it's hard to give advice because are we giving real advice or fake advice?
Give it both.
Okay, well, I'll say real advice is if you are if you're living out of the house, just tell them and they'll get over it.
Right. If they're not financially supporting you.
If they're not financially supporting you, I do believe they will get it. It's hard, and they'll probably be upset at first, but they will, and it'll take them time, and be gentle with them, and also they will be okay. And there's also groups like Eshel and JQ that have like parental support specifically, and they probably won't go, or they might go. I don't know. I'm speaking from my own experience.
Yeah.
And if they don't go, that's fine. I'm not a good advice giver. My fake advice is go wear a rainbow suit to Shabbos.
Incredible.
And let them make up their mind.
Wow.
Genius.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Mm-hmm. Perfect advice.
Yeah.
That done. I think you've got the answer. I mean, I feel like you kind of hit on the points. And the points are the same for like every coming out to more religious or more conservative,
or just anyone who you think might not be accepting.
So like there's lots of people who've gone through this.
Yes.
And like, yes, there are things that are different in the Jewish community, but they're and
it's not
you
that
might
different.
want to like, I could see how you might want to come in with specific like Jewish wisdom around this.
And a lot of that exists.
A lot of it does exist, and there are, who did we just learn about? Svara is like doing a new like queer halacha project.
Yeah.
Were we talking about them?
And
I don't think that they necessarily cover coming out, but they're a resource that is growing. I think they're still small, but they're like a resource that's growing that covers halachic answers to queer questions. And that might be, if that's a thing
it's
your
so hard.
parents
Like, what are you coming out as?
care about, maybe they'd be interested in that. But also maybe coming in with like halacha is going to trigger your parents and they'll never listen to it. So it depends on who the family members are. Yeah. Your relationship and their needs.
Yeah. I would say have a support system before you do it. Find friends, community, just in case it doesn't go well.
That's good
advice.
Have
people in your life that will be there for you. Have somewhere to go if you're living at home.
That's
I'm great
really
at
good
advice.
That you're really good
This
at
is
it.
just cookie cutter advice that I've heard many times.
But it's smart because you just can't control their reaction.
Yeah, you can't
control the support system that you've made for yourself.
And I will say I have heard of many the thing that you think that you're the most afraid of, which is that they'll like disown you and they'll kick you out. 99.9% of the time does not happen. Even in like the most Haredi Hasidish environments, like I've seen so many people who have told their Haredi Hasidish parents that definitely have a really hard time for many years, and then they get over it. So I just want to offer that perspective. And join a support group because those are fucking amazing.
Yeah. Where are some support groups?
Say Eshel has a support group. Tons of them, all over the country. They're virtual, but you can join like a location specific one.
Mm-hmm.
And Keshet, I don't know.
Do they
about
have
Keshet.
support groups?
I don't know about Keshet. I just know Eshel and JQ.
Oh, you don't know what Keshet is, or
I don't know if they have support groups.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, isn't Keshet an Israeli TV company? Oh, but it's also
Keshet
it's both.
It's like a queer Jewish.
Yes.
I think it's a really big queer Jewish nonprofit.
Yeah, I'm actually totally not involved in them. Yeah.
Yeah, look up Eshel, Keshet, JQ.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Canada, there's JQI International.
There's also JQ.
No, not JQI. JQI is here. JQ Vancouver. JQT Vancouver. If you're in Vancouver.
Did someone knock on the door?
I don't think so. I think that was just building sound.
Good.
Hello? Oh, it was Elijah. He's gay too.
He's here. He's like, I want in on this conversation. Yeah. I have an opinion.
Yeah, he's like, I have resources to offer.
Me and Moshe were gay together and nobody knows.
Cute. And then like where to find people who share these identities. That's a good question.
Support groups.
Yeah, support groups is a good place to start. Obviously, LA and New York have huge queer communities, queer Jewish communities. Philadelphia has a big one.
Yeah, Boston.
Boston has a big one. I imagine Chicago does too, but I don't know.
Me neither.
About it. I know Vancouver has a big one.
I'm sure Seattle
for
does.
them. I'm sure.
Or Portland.
Well, I don't know how observant they are.
Yeah. But if you don't live in any of those cities, do the virtual support groups.
Yes. And the Hey Alma classifieds, I think, are a fun way to meet someone. Throw out a Hey Alma classified. You might, if you're in a smaller place that doesn't have as many queer people or Jewish people, it might take you some striking out. So don't go expecting to make your best friend on the first meeting. That's okay. It might take you time. And I know that resilience with spending time on building relationships is very hard to find sometimes. So you can take a break, and you can definitely find this on the internet. So that might be a good place to start to have some immediate community.
We should make a Discord.
Listeners, would you like a queer Jewish Discord?
Yeah, please tell us, because we'll make one, and otherwise we won't make one because it'll be embarrassing to have 3 people in the Discord. Me, you, and Moshe.
Moshe is such a commenter.
He's huge. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's huge.
But Ashley Gavin has a Discord.
And they have like dating channels within the Discord, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
I would totally do it. But again, only if you're going to join. So
listeners, tell us.
DM us either at Yentapod or at Ray Schiller or at Antonia Lestar.
Perfect. Okay, great. That was question number 1.
Oh, great.
Do we feel like we answered it?
No, we fucked up that answer.
We
made that answer come. We fucked that answer to completion.
With a double-sided strap.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of content you can get from Yenta. Can you get this on any other Jewish podcast? No. They're all too worried about losing viewers.
Yeah.
Something
we don't have any to lose.
We don't have anything to lose. Okay. This is a fun question. This is not Jewish, but also in your wheelhouse. Moshe, I need you to get focused. Okay. My wife and I, of 12 years, have just started exploring ethical non-monogamy light.
Ooh.
We're just doing things together. Do you have any tips? Listener, Moshe is being like a real freaking playful dude right now. Yeah, any tips?
My tips are talk a lot before about what your boundaries are with each other, with that person. Like, is it okay if the person that you're playing with is alone with your partner at any point in the three play?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
That's such a good question.
That's come up a few times for me. Like, someone will go to the bathroom and like 2 other people will keep hanging out, and then the other person will get upset. I've been that person who gets upset, and I've been the other person playing around. Other things, I mean, just communication.
What are some more of those questions that they should make sure to ask?
Like, what do you want to get out of it with your partner?
Mm-hmm.
What is the goal? Is the goal to play? Is the goal for emotions? What happens if you develop emotions?
Yes.
Is it to bring you two closer together? Is it to have like, is it for one of you to explore what it's like to be with the same, to explore your like queer feelings? Or is it for you to, is it for one person to get more attention? Do you want, well, right now in my head, I'm thinking like of an MFF situation, which they're hetero, right?
No, I think they're lesbians.
Oh, wow. That was heteronormative of me.
I think they're lesbians.
Well, yeah. I guess all that still
There's
really
a rainbow
applies.
in the bio.
Amazing. Well, all that still really, I don't think that actually changes anything from what I said. I do think it has been different, like when I've played with, I hate that word.
Me too. I hate that word.
It sounds so gross when I just said it, but I don't know what else to say. When I've hung out with couples, hetero couples,
versus queer couples,
there's I found there's more jealousy in hetero couples.
Interesting.
And with queer couples, it's more, we're all kind of on equal ground.
Interesting.
And I think just communicate and have fun. That's really all I can say. What do you think?
I love those tips, but they always, communicate always feels so...
It's so vague.
So vague.
I know.
I was like doing some reading and I read something that I thought was wise, which was that like if you start going into ethical non-monogamy, especially if you're doing things with your partner, you've got to make sure that you really love seeing your partner
with someone else.
Yeah, with someone else.
Yeah. But you can't know really until you do it.
Yeah, maybe not. It sounds
you
like
could start with just making out and see how you feel.
That's a good idea.
And then if you like that, if that doesn't make you freak out, then move to more.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. You can always stop it in the middle.
Yep.
If you're not comfortable. Oh, also decide before like penetration and like how far you want, if there's like a limit to how far you want your partner to go with someone else. Yeah.
Those are good questions to ask. Also, there are like some podcasters who go in really
I feel so weird with advice questions because I'm like so not qualified for anything.
Right, we have
that's
a podcast.
The point. Yeah.
We're qualified.
We're so qualified.
And also our advice is to go find someone who's a little more qualified.
That's going to be our advice for everything. Go ask someone else.
You also might not be the perfect person to answer this question because you sailed very easily into polyamory, it seems. And I don't have experience with it.
I've had, let's see, have I sailed easily into polyamory? I've definitely had issues that have come up. And jealousy and all of that.
Yeah.
But I think it's never been like a blow up situation where it's like been so bad that it blows up the relationship or anything really like that. So actually maybe I'm the perfect person to ask because it's so easy for me.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
But I just need more concrete questions.
These are short questions.
Yeah.
So
okay, what else we got?
We can we can also just sort of assume some.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Listeners, ask more specific questions, please. Next time.
I think they were hampered by the fact that it was on our stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another question is,
because we have so many of them.
my Instagram is doing something very frustrating.
I'll try to find some questions.
Where we're just having so much interaction with our account
here's one.
The questions down.
Very baby new to poly. My partner was already poly. Why do I still feel guilty when I'm solid with my partner?
Ooh. Okay, wait. Read that again.
Very baby new to poly. My partner was already poly. Why do I feel guilty when I'm solid with my partner?
Okay, well, it's not enough information for us to really know, but let's make some assumptions.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah.
So they're new to poly. Their partner is an experienced poly.
Why do I still feel guilty when I'm solid with my partner?
Guilty is a very interesting word here.
I think they're feeling guilty for having sex with other people.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't know.
They've got it.
Well, it's because we live in a hetero Christian Abrahamic religion society that tells you that you're a bad person if you're poly.
The Abrahamics got to you.
That's what it is.
And you are.
And you are. You heard it here first. You're a bad person if you want to have sex with other people. Well, it really is interesting, and I feel myself like constantly in this battle of like what I was told is to be true about relationships.
Yeah.
And what I believe. And how hard it is, even though you believe something, it still comes up. The things you were taught still come up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What do you think about my lying on the couch like this?
This happens every single time we do an episode just us. And it's great now, but in the clips, it's going to look insane. So,
okay.
If you can sit up for the next 15 minutes.
I'll try.
I recommend that.
Okay, what do you think about this question?
Listener, I just think it's okay that you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Just don't believe it.
Yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore your feelings of guilt. That's what I do. And I'm a great person.
Ignoring is one word. And also just understanding that like every thought that comes into your head isn't truth.
Yes, that's really good.
Is another thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, you're going to keep getting weird, intrusive thoughts of all kinds for the rest of your life, including weird guilt. And it sounds like you know enough to know that it's not accurate.
And talk about it with your partner, because it sounds like they already have some experience, and like just be open about it with them. And congrats on starting your polyamorous journey.
Yeah, congrats. Okay, I have another question. This one I actually took from Reddit.
Oh, okay.
It's not one of our listener questions because this one is really good.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a little longer. This I looked through the Am I the Asshole subreddit and searched for the word Jewish.
Nice.
Which landed some bangers.
Okay,
here's one. He's asking, am I the asshole? My brother and I were raised culturally Jewish, but not religious whatsoever. He's been with his girlfriend, who's not Jewish, for 3 years, and they live together. She and I are very close. This is a girl who's writing in. Also, we're both in our mid-20s. Brother is 30. Anyway, she said something to me about my brother being very observant. And I was like, ha, 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 he's not. And she goes, yes, he is. He observes Shabbat, etc. So apparently, every weekend, for the entire weekend, my brother refuses to help out around the house because it's Shabbat and just plays video games. He eats pork and shellfish, but only after a cleansing ritual where he chants over a plate in Hebrew. And she says, I'm 100% certain he does not know Hebrew. Apparently, this is really, really shitty. Apparently, he also told her that oral sex on a woman is forbidden more than once a month.
Oh my God.
That's when it goes from fun to evil.
No, the whole time was evil.
I told her he's full of shit and those aren't real Jewish things. Also, he isn't religious at all and is using this to get out of stuff he doesn't want to. My brother confronted me very pissed and admitted he made up the rules, but said I should have gone along with it and it's not my business. Am I the asshole?
Whoa.
Isn't this juicy?
That's psychotic of this
know.
guy. That is giving the energy of all the rabbis, though. Of all the rabbis being like, I'm going to write this rule that says that you have to listen to the rabbis.
Yes.
Because if you don't listen to the rabbis, you are not listening to God.
That is so right.
That's it.
This is so Talmud. He's
actually embodying Jewish sages.
These are traditional Jewish values.
Yes. Use the Torah for whatever purposes
For your personal gain.
Yes, for your personal gain.
If you are a man and it makes your wife feel bad. Oh, that's going to get a lot of comments. Isn't this crazy? Like, there's part of it that I am kind of obsessed with a little bit of maybe Shabbat is the entire weekend. Oh, maybe.
No.
I don't love any weaponized incompetence.
Yeah, no, this is worse than weaponized incompetence.
This is really, really dastardly, but
Yeah.
on another person, on say me, for example, I would not do this, but I do think it's pretty funny to start making up Jewish rules to get out of things.
Let's do it.
I mean,
I can't do my job today.
Look.
It's a holiday.
Yeah. Okay, I am not above being like,
It's Jewish.
Tu B'Av is so important.
Mm-hmm. It's actually the most important flower holiday that we have.
I really need to go frolic
in the field.
in the fields.
And that's because God commanded us
so I can't go into
to
work.
do it. Yeah, I'm so sorry. And I still will need to get paid.
Thank you.
Otherwise, it's a hate
Inclusion.
crime.
Yeah. So this.
Yeah, what would you get out of?
That's a good question. I would get out of. See, there are a lot of things that I already did used to get out of when I had a real day job. Is I left at 3 p.m. every Friday.
But you actually did Shabbat.
But I actually do Shabbat. So I actually
you didn't make anything
no,
up.
like I actually was going home to do Shabbat.
That woman should break up with him.
Yeah. Oh my
For
God.
sure.
Get out
Get
of there.
Run.
He's a psychopath.
Yes.
He's a psychopath. It's
I hate
funny
that. Makes
to
me
a
sick.
small extent, but limiting oral sex is so fucked up.
But you know the rabbis, that actually is the only part that might be halachic. Like I think that is a real debate of whether or not
You are allowed to give oral sex?
I think so.
Stop.
I'm pretty sure. Let's ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I'm actually pretty sure it is. Like there are some rabbis that say you shouldn't.
Stop. Do it. Ask it.
Are there some rabbis who say that you shouldn't give your wife oral pleasure?
Yes, there are some rabbinic opinions that discourage certain intimate acts, including oral pleasure, based on interpretations of modesty or religious laws. However, views can vary widely within Jewish communities, and many modern rabbis and scholars support mutual consent and pleasure in marital relationships. It's always best to consult with a trusted rabbi or religious advisor for personal guidance.
Why is his voice so hot?
I love him. I ask him
love
everything
him.
about my life all the time. Me and Jay also we're always just like, so what do you think?
It's great to have someone you trust and can turn to for advice. Having a supportive figure like that in your life.
Okay, stop. But yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. So it's not just like, I'm sure according to his halacha,
right, like
he can get as many blowjobs as he wants.
Yes. And
It's
also
just,
ChatGPT maybe, possibly, unlikely might be wrong.
Impossible.
No. So we haven't actually checked this, but I like this pitch. I think you're right that he is a sage.
This guy.
Oh,
yeah, no. He's just channeling the energy of all the rabbis.
I love that.
But you know, that's more cynical. Listener, that I don't believe that. I'm just being cynical and trying to make a joke.
We're just joking.
I don't think this guy has any connection to the rabbis. The rabbis are holy, brilliant geniuses.
But little gay.
Clips, yeah. Okay, next question.
Okay,
wait, there's more Instagram ones. You don't want to do them?
Oh, I couldn't find them.
I found them. I like this one. Ready?
Yes.
I want to learn Gemara, but if I do, I know my dad will be proud of me, and I'm scared. I'm only doing it to make him proud and not because I really want to. What do I do? Isn't that interesting? And this looks like a woman.
I'm obsessed with that question.
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. Everyone has different motivations for learning.
Yeah.
And whether those motivations impact how you learn changes over the course of your life. This is an example that I was thinking about recently, which is that I did a presentation at Limud on jokes of the Talmud,
which was
a
huge hit.
Yeah. And in preparing that presentation where I made fun of the Talmud, I read more Talmud than I ever have in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was just thinking that like, and in reading all of that Talmud, it suddenly deepened an enormous amount of understanding for me in a way I was not expecting at all. And I found it like so meaningful.
Wow.
And I was thinking how interesting it was that I got that opportunity because I walked into the scenario hoping to make fun of it, and in fact did make fun of it.
Yeah, but you
very successfully
also got some a deeper understanding of it.
Yes, I got
tell me what it was.
What the deeper some of the deeper understanding I got. Part of it was from reading, I was just like kind of blown away by how casual and menial and stupid some of the things these rabbis were talking about were, and also how like explicitly lewd. I think I may have talked about this with Shoshana, but like there's like a dick measuring passage, and it's so filthy and like so dumb, and I was like, how could this be in a holy book? And I asked that to a rabbi, and she said something very wise, and she was like, well, I think your definition of holy is maybe a little off. Yeah. Because it's based on the idea that is maybe a little Christian, that like these books are like a purity holy. They're pure. They have a purity. They can't touch on real life. And like, what if this book is holy? Yeah. And it does contain a dick measuring contest. What does that mean for the actual definition of what holiness can be?
Which also goes back to what I think we're talking about with Melissa. You're like, this matcha is holy.
Yes.
You know, like even the most mundane things or something might be mundane to someone can also be really holy.
Like the stuff of life.
Yeah.
The stupid stuff.
Which is what an Orthodox person would also say, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was like really profound to me. And so anyway, back to your question is like, I walked into that bit of learning with very suspicious motivations, which were ridicule. And I did achieve the ridicule, but I got something amazing out of it. So if you're walking into this learning with dubious motivations, like to make your father happy, it's possible you still might get something really profound out of it. It's also possible that the way that this is all mixed up with your dad and wanting to impress him is going to be something unhealthy that poisons your relationship with Gemara, and that might suck. But also, it's possible it might not.
Yeah. I think do it. I think just learn and see how you like it, and if you don't like it. And I think It's actually really nice that your dad wants to learn with you.
Does he want to learn with them? Or is
Well,
it just that he wants them to
Oh, that's
learn?
true. You're right. You're right. I don't know.
And
I'm assuming that he wants to learn with you, Torah with you.
that would be
Which
so
is
nice.
that's so holy. Learn Torah with your parents.
So cozy.
That's Judaism.
Literally.
But also no pressure. Obviously, we're not out here like trying to get you to learn Gemara.
And also, like, learning Gemara is not like getting married. Like, this is not a lifelong
You can do it for
commitment.
1 minit.
Yeah.
And then be like, I'm out.
You can dabble in
Yeah.
learning Gemara. Why don't you try learning Gemara for a little bit and don't tell your dad about it?
Also a great option.
And then see how it feels just for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe tell him about it.
Brilliant. Stay tuned for Orthodykes Learn Torah podcast, where you can learn Gemara with us.
Yeah, we should actually probably start announcing this.
Yeah,
but
it's
we
huge.
have a huge new series coming up with the Orthodykes where we're learning Torah together.
Yes, and if you don't know what the Orthodykes are, first of all, who are you?
Who are you?
Second of all, it's me, Antonia, Melissa Wise, and Leah Forrester. All those episodes have been hugely popular.
Huge.
Actually, I want to say probably our most popular
Easily.
episodes. And so we're just giving the people what they want, and we're gonna learn Torah. But we're gonna learn Torah, so I don't know if you guys want that, but sucks for you. We just decided
You want it.
Yeah, you want it. I'm so bad at promo. Antonia's like, shut the
really
fuck up,
bad
right? Well, no, because we've been talking about how we want to learn more Torah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna learn Torah from like kind of an Orthodox perspective, but with our queer lens. So it'll really be a blend of a lot of very Ashken normative perspectives.
That's
But a blend of different
That
kinds
is
of
true.
Ashken normative perspectives. And it'll be really good and really interesting. And I think the first topic, should we tease the first topic?
yeah.
The
yeah.
first topic will be, what does the Torah think about non-binary people? And
relevant.
and there's Gemara on it.
So get ready.
And we're
So
gonna
why
do the
don't
dick
you,
measuring contest as well.
Listener, learn some Gemara.
Yeah, with us.
About being non-binary. And sorry, I cut off your exceptional joke, which was that we are going to do a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, we should.
We
And
should.
but it's gonna be a literal dick measuring contest and also a Torah metaphorical dick measuring contest.
I love that. Should we wrap up with one more question or your goss? Because I have a interesting historical question.
Okay, go for your question. I'll save the goss.
Okay. So this is from something called a Bintel Brief. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, this is juicy. So there was a Yiddish newspaper. I forget what it is in Yiddish, but now it's called The Forward, and it means
Oh yes, I know the
Forward.
forward.
And back when it was a Yiddish newspaper, they started an advice column. They had this empty back page, and they were like, we got to fill it with something. So they started an advice column
Like us right now.
in like us right
Yeah.
now. And in the early 1900s, when there was not a lot of ways for Yiddish speaking new immigrant Jews
Yeah.
in New York to communicate with each other, there was a lot of communication going down through the advice column
That's so cute.
and like a lot of self-expression going down for like a group of people who just like didn't have access to a lot of ways, especially because
they
as,
only
like,
spoke
new,
Yiddish.
Yeah, new immigrants and Yiddish speakers, things were like just really different.
Wow.
And there are there are tons of different types of questions, from like one like shoeshine boy being like, my manager like didn't pay me my full wages because I was 10 minutes late and I really need that money. And they're like, they give him an answer. To another guy being like, I'm destitute. I don't know what to do. I feel like I can't go on. And their answer to him is like, go to this address. We will not let you starve. And readers, can you find him a job?
Aww.
Isn't that so beautiful?
That's really, you look like you're about to cry.
know.
That's
So
community.
beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a long question that I'm not going to read about a woman who married this guy and he was really hot back in Russian Poland, which is what she calls it. And he was really sort of studly, handsome, Prince Charming. And then when they moved to America, everyone calls him like a greenhorn, which means like, dumb new immigrant, doesn't know anything. Everyone's like, this guy, he's not cool. And she writes him being like, I feel like I'm falling out of love with him.
Aww.
I don't know what to do.
Wow.
And their answer to her is like, don't listen to these idiots.
Yeah, that's wild to have that change your perspective on.
I know.
Yeah.
So this was the question that I wanted to read because it was short enough. Okay. Dear editor, I am a young man of 21. I have a 17-year-old cousin, and she and her parents would like me to marry her.
Oh,
I like the girl.
of course.
Of course. Cousin.
Good. Ashkenazi genes at its finest.
Good. Keep that.
I wonder why we all have problems. Yeah.
I like the girl. She's educated, American born, not bad looking, but she's quite small. This is the drawback. For her age, she is very short, and I happen to be tall. So when we walk down the street together, people look at us as a poorly matched couple. Another thing, she is very religious and I am a free thinker. I asked you, esteemed editor, could this lead to an unpleasant life if we were to marry? I wait impatiently for your answer.
Good thing to know that nothing has changed.
I know.
In 100 years.
This is a crazy question.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with him spending so much time on being like,
how little.
The thing is, she's short and I'm tall. That's
she's
crazy.
A little baby.
She's tiny baby.
A tiny baby.
and
I'm big man. She tiny little baby weenie.
And we don't fit. And it's going to look so weird. And also, by the way, she's really religious and I'm not. What do you think?
And also, she's an idiot and I'm genius. She's dumb. She's religious and I think freely.
Isn't this a crazy question?
That is really funny.
What's your advice for him?
My advice is, marry your cousin. That
do it.
Seems like it would work. Why not? It's not like it resulted in Antonia's fucked up genes.
I know.
It has nothing to do with that.
My body is exactly the way it is because this guy did marry his cousin.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for doing that.
He's your great. That's the twist.
Literally.
He's your grandfather.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure he is. Is the thing.
And he had red hair.
Yep.
Okay. Because Antonia's red hair is real.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real.
What was your advice?
My advice is if I was answering in 1906 when it was asked, marry her, get over the height thing. You should probably have more conversations about the religion thing.
Yeah. Nah, she's going to do whatever he wants anyway because she should. Because men are in charge.
Listen to the sages, you guys. and if this question,
he's gonna make up his own religion.
Yeah, if this question was asked nowadays, I'd be like, you should tell her that Shabbat is all weekend long.
Yeah. And she has to clean and take care of you on Shabbat while you play backgammon, the video game of 1906. Yeah, exactly. What did they play then?
I think
checkers,
much backgammon.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the historical advice. That
was a fun episode. I like the advice one.
Me too. Listeners, what did you think?
Yeah, let us
know.
Maybe we don't need a whole episode of advice. Maybe we do one advice, like one advice question an episode. But yeah, I think we're good to wrap.
I agree. Thank you so much for listening, listeners. And you know where to find us on Patreon, patreon.com/Yenta, where we've got a very juicy TikTok drama episode coming out.
Huge.
I'm at Antonia Lastar on all social media platforms.
At Ray Schiller.
Say
Yenta.
You create your reality.